So he did email me and he said he was going to make you an offer today. And we've got our first podcast guest. So Mahmood is going to be coming onto the podcast later this month. Where do you think this person comes from in terms of past experience? What do you think they've been doing for the last few years?
10 toes down in my B22s. Young ST hit the T and he blew. Pat came in, disappeared like the moose. Yeah, I'm at the mud, yeah, I'm really the truth. 10 toes down in his Christians, yours. They know me by my real name in the store.
This is it, week 24 of the Week in the Life series. The same Week in the Life series, just a different location. Today is Monday, and the local time is 11:30 a.m., which is 8:30 for all my UK audience. The next couple of weeks are going to be very, very busy, and I'm going to be trying to meet as many people as I can. And today, my first proper working day in Dubai, I'm meeting a local, a guy called Mahmood Batawi. He's got his own podcast, he's an exited founder, and more importantly, he's an Emiratis. I'm going to do my very, very best to network with the locals over here rather than stick to UK people. So I'm going to be asking him absolutely everything. And of course, I've come with a gift. Usually, I'll bring my book, but I don't actually have any over here. So I brought him what I know to be the best gift possible. Some Cafe Batil chocolate dates. So today I'm setting the tone for the rest of the week, getting out, meeting people and doing a lot of networking. In terms of the rest of the week, we are going to be trialing out some co-working spaces and some serviced offices. So for the B-roll this week, considering we have a different office every single day, I'm going to get B-roll of the different offices every day. And if you watch to the end, drop me a comment which one you prefer, which one you think is best, because next week we're going to sign up to one and we want it to be the best one. By the way, before I head in to see Mahmood, I just want to show you these chocolate dates. The only thing I've got to say about these dates is I hope Mahmood likes them. £38. I didn't actually realise that until I bought them. So let's hope it's a good meeting.
Our friend go for the blog, Susan dripping. Me and bro in the M-way doing mileage, we been missing. Now she ain't calling you, rude boy, it's me that she missing. Book a flight, now I'm missing. When I'm running to the P's, in my body bring me trees. I'm never sober. Really active on the streets. If my brother pull up, he gon' squeeze, yeah. Till it's all over.
So we've just wrapped up our first day of co-working. Well, I say we've wrapped up, we're leaving the office. I've still got to do some work at home, obviously, but I'm gonna give a little quick review. So today we went to Unbox Community. Gonna give a overall 9 out of 10. I think it's quite hard because we actually haven't been anywhere else yet, but vibes were good, atmosphere was good, coffee was good, and it was reasonably priced, although the office space is mad expensive here in Dubai. But overall, a productive day. Can't believe it's the first day of work for us and how much we got done. It's going to sound like I'm exaggerating here. We signed some terms of business with a US client. We've onboarded 3 new vacancies, so we've got a solutions consultant, a head of engineering, and a senior developer. I managed to book 2 meetings, which are going to be tomorrow. And most importantly, we've had in writing that we're going to get an offer for one of the senior developer positions that we got. So hopefully by the time that I get home, we'll have that, I can deliver it and capture it in live time. And I mean, to close a deal on your first day in a new country, I'll be happy with that. And how can I forget? That deal is occupying my mind right now. And my first meeting with a local. So I met Mahmood earlier. Really enjoyed those very expensive dates which I've taken him. Thank God he's actually sent me a message. And we've got our first podcast guest. So Mahmood is going to be coming onto the podcast later this month. Also, I might actually have my second, but I'm not going to tell you who that is just yet. But we'll be looking to share some more information later this month. So keep your eyes peeled. This call right here should be an offer accepted. For whatever reason, the client that we work with wanted to deliver the offer directly to the candidate. Now, we're not against that. Usually it would go through us. However, if that's a client request, we're always happy to accommodate. So let's see how it goes. It's Kieran. Sorry I couldn't get to you earlier. So he did email me and he said he was going to make you an offer today. I said, do you want to come through me or does he want to do it directly? So he said he's going to come to you directly. So he said by the end of the day, he was going to send you an email with the official offer letter and copy me in. We haven't had it just yet. Did he mention salary? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, actually, the last person we placed into the business, he joined on 50,000. And then after probation, he went up to 55,000 as well. So yeah, that's something they've done previously. Well done, seriously, because there was, I think I was honest to you at the start, there was quite a lot of competition for this position. There were 6 people in total. So, you know, for you to get the offer at the end, you've done very, very well. I'm pleased for you, mate. Well done. So in terms of next steps, I will He said it will get it to us by the end of the day. So if we don't have anything by 5 p.m, maybe he has got caught up in something, but I'll definitely give him a call on the mobile first thing in the morning. He's already confirmed it to you, he's confirmed it to me, so it's definitely coming. And then just so I can plan ahead, you are on a 1 month notice period, right? Cool, so you'll probably hand that in, I imagine, as soon as you get it, so tomorrow, and then you'll be working a 1 month. So we're looking at the end of the month to start, yeah? Cool, so the 3rd of November, yeah? Yeah, well done. Are you going to celebrate in any way? Well, you should celebrate in some way, Jax, because seriously, it's a very tough market. I think we know that from before working together previously. But there's lots of people who are interviewing and maybe being unsuccessful. So yeah, well done. Make sure you surprise yourself somehow. That's all right, man. I'll speak to you in the next 48 hours, yeah? See you, mate. First working day in Dubai, done. First deal in Dubai, done. Let's start as a meeting to go on.
Free. I had reasonable doubt as my intro. We swing around with illmatic, say you involved. Heard they ran off on the plug by the 10th load. All the stress why I need my money tenfold. I took a chapter out the mob page. 1 gauge, 2 bodies on the front page. And we don't do it for the likes of the blog page.
This morning has been eventful, to say the least. We tried out our new gym, Champs Gym. That was fairly decent, you reckon, Sky?
Yeah, it was good.
And we also tried out a new co-working space, which is the B-roll you would have seen before this clip. That's called Cloud Space. And I'll tell you one thing about Dubai is they make the pictures online look incredible. So we checked it out. It was aesthetic, I guess. It looked pretty good. It was huge. It was really, really big, but there was no atmosphere. I don't even think they had Wi-Fi. And for the price, it just was not worth it. We actually left after, 20 minutes? So that one is a no-go. We've come back to the place that we know best, which is Bay Square. We've gone back to Unbox community. Got to be honest, their service and their atmosphere and the way that they treat people in there is the best we've seen so far. So Unbox is winning. I'm still riding the high after yesterday's deal. First day working, first deal done. We're actually expecting a couple more this week, so I should be able to show some of that content. But today I've actually got 4 meetings, and 3 of those are new business meetings. So I'm going to pick the best one. I'm going to record them all and pick the best one and then share some of the content from that, and hopefully wrap up the day with either some new vacancies or maybe another deal if things have gone our way. We've only been here for, I think, a week now. When did we get here? Last Wednesday, and today is Tuesday, so nearly a week, 2 days working, and I will summarize it up so far as different. Gone from driving to riding scooters, driving to a gym to get a taxi to a gym, and yeah, not having an office to doing some co-working. So it's been a very interesting time, but we're very happy so far and things are going in the right direction. So make sure you stick around to the end. You're going to see some more deals and some more new business wins. Oh, it's not coming from my AirPods. 1 second. Let me leave and join back. I've transferred over to the trusty headset. You can always rely on a headset. Yeah, that's a good shout. I haven't actually looked into that. And I think over the last 2 years, communication has been the most important thing for me in my sort of growth, both from a business and personal perspective. And the thing that's helped most is probably the podcast. I've learned to really listen and then also ask very detailed questions based on what they've said rather than just responding for the sake of it. So, yeah, that's quite interesting. There's quite a few points there, actually. The one I want to go back to because I'm really interested. So your stuff is more immersive AI and interactive training. Is that right? Like that's, certainly not brand new, but it's e-learning is progressing into that way. It's more interactive, it's more live time and stuff. What are the clients that you've got at the minute, or the people that you present this to? What do they think about this? Because it's quite different from traditional e-learning, right? So you build the whole world, and it includes everything from so not just the e-learning side, well, mostly e-learning, but also the interactive stuff as well. And one of the main reasons, what I think I heard there was it levels out the risk playing field. So rather than it be focused, primarily on the client, if it's interactive and they've actually got involved and there's data to back that up, it's an equal playing field, and it's hopefully better for longevity, I'd imagine, as well, with the employer relationship. So you custom build for every client. You will custom build something that is completely unique to them. That looks very complex from my limited knowledge in this space. Does that take too long to build, just this part without the videos? It's fascinating. It looks so visually pleasing. It looks like and like you said, the main reason this is being well received is because of the engagement, I imagine. Like this actually looks like you can have a small amount of fun reading it rather than reading documents or PDFs on boring policies. So I can see the value add. Very impressed. I always like to imagine things from the end user perspective, and I just, really, I've done e-learning before and it's never been the most engaging. This was some time ago, right? But I'm just thinking, from the end user, especially from the team how beneficial this could be to train at scale, and it's impressive. It really is. So have you been building this up until now? You've been doing all of the training, because I'm assuming, rightly or wrongly, do you have a learning technologist at the minute? Especially in the public sector. It can be very challenging, right? So you mentioned that you've posted an advert before and you had lots of applicants. What was the responses like? What was the quality of the candidates coming through? It's really interesting. So where, in an ideal world, where do you think this person comes from in terms of past experience? What do you think they've been doing for the last few years to have those skills? By the way, it's 29. Are you okay for time for 5 more minutes? Yeah, for sure. I've got a call, but I've just said to him I'll be 10 more minutes, so if it goes over, that's fine. So we actually only work with startups, and these startups sometimes are as low as 2 employees. The most would be around 50 employees. And the reason why I do that is because I really enjoy the people side of my job. Finding people with technical ability, even if it's sales, customer success, or engineering from a software perspective, that's the easy part. The hard part is actually matching up culture fit, finding engineers who can communicate, finding people who have something about them. And you have to have a real, attention to detail, because most of what I do is over the phone and over video call, to really assess people accurately, without meeting them. And that's where I found I actually really, really love what I do. So when you're saying that we need people who are more aptitude, especially from a communication, willingness side, just as much as a technical, that's what we do. And that's what I've been doing. It is difficult, I'll be honest, but hopefully, I'm not sure if you've seen the video testimonial that I shared with you the other day. Did you see that one via email? That's okay, well, I'll share that one. And coincidentally, the second part to that is we actually work with one of South Wales' largest training providers. Not that it would be a conflict of interest, but it's a similar sort of story here where we've helped them hire 3 people. They actually go into, so they're mostly apprenticeships. They go into colleges and they help 16 to 18-year-olds get qualified in mostly technical qualifications. Yeah, we helped them hire 3 in-classroom trainers. And again, it was the same thing. Like, the technical ability was quite important, but they could actually upskill them and get them the qualifications. And the hard part is finding people who want to be in the classroom day in, day out, teaching people, sometimes people who aren't always engaged as well. And I've got another video testimonial from one of the directors, so I'll share that with you after this call, and you can see what I'm talking about, if that's all right with you. So in terms of the search, so you've had loads of applicants. You said a couple of were okay, just not quite right. What's the plan from here? I know obviously we're speaking with the potential intention of us helping, but do you think you can find this person yourself? Yeah, I think the recruitment part of it, especially for a startup, which is all we work with, can be quite complex, because sometimes you won't pay as well as someone or a company that are in the same space but larger. Not always though, and that depends on the situation. So there's a couple of things that we would always sell a position on, and it's always about selling a position in the future state. So, very rarely do people move to experience the first week, because if it's a higher salary, that quickly goes, right? So we've often found that we have to talk about future states with people, and that could be 6 to 12, maybe even 18 months. And the most common things that always come up are personal and career progression. So, you can tell me after I finish speaking, what are they going to be able to achieve, or what are they going to be able to work towards within 6 to 12, maybe 24 months, depending on the ambitions of the business in those couple of years. Secondly is people want some autonomy. People want some creative freedom in their work, and they want to be able to do stuff and not be micromanaged. And that's actually why a lot of people look at startups, because you as a business owner, you realize you can't micromanage everyone on a daily basis, So what we naturally do when working with smaller stage companies, whether it's a training provider or a tech startup is we will usually look at someone who's working in a bigger company in a 3-4 person team, has a manager, can't get promoted because that manager has a manager. And there's always 1 or 2 who are ambitious and are just not ambitious enough to go hunting for their new position, that they're waiting, and we always find those people. It's not easy, but that's the sort of people we target. And I'm just speaking for you here. I would imagine if someone comes into your business, sky is the limit. You're scaling. If you win more clients, there's opportunities to take more progression, more autonomy, and you'd almost like them to share their ideas with you to help grow the business, because like you said, you only know what you know. Over the last couple of years, we've done less and less work in the UK, and we actually have some European and US clients. And the more I was expanding outside of the UK, I was thinking, why do I need a physical office that needs to be in 24/7? So yeah, we're trying out some remote working and stuff, and it's going well so far. Going back to your pitch there, nice, I really like it. Yeah, The only thing I was thinking now is how do you, there's no doubt that experience would be better and more visually engaging, but how do you measure success, I guess? How do you know someone has made a better choice from before using the platform than after using the platform? How can you quantify it? Well, those are very impressive stats. Yeah, I can definitely see why. It's fun. I remember when I was picking stuff when I was back in school, it was nothing like that. I think the great part about that is if you can actually speak to the companies, and even if it's not a physical person, it's a presence online which shares more information about the company. That's incredible. Yeah, and I like the idea of someone buying off the shelf as well as custom build. One of the clients where I sent that video testimonial, they've got custom build agents there in the AI space, but they've also got off the shelf. So if someone doesn't want something too complex, they can go onto the website and actually just select, and that will be deployed into their systems pretty quickly. That's okay. That's okay. Do you want to schedule 30 more minutes later in the week? I'll send you my calendar. Book something for Friday. Next couple of days is going to be very, very busy, and we'll get together and we'll carry on this conversation from exactly where we left off. I appreciate your time. Good luck. Typical, he's just had to jump off because the new Wi-Fi has come for his new business setup, but we're going to schedule another call for 30 minutes on Friday, and I'm pretty certain that's going to be a new business opportunity for us. Today, we are checking out Jet Set Business Centre. I think this one has the most potential, but of course, little coffee along the way. For whatever reason, it's taken us 2 coffees to get going over here. Don't know if it's the sun, the change in pattern, but yeah, we're going to check out Jet Set. The office here is about £1,400, which is a little bit cheaper than everywhere else. But then the location is a little bit further out. The offices look good, co-working maybe not so good. And we're trying to assess on vibe as well. So we want a good atmosphere, we want some friendly people in there, and I'd love to do some networking. A couple of good calls yesterday. One with the person that you would have seen on camera. We actually spoke for 50 minutes. It was only meant to be 30, and that's been rearranged for another 30 minutes, so we can go over the vacancy later this week. 2 or 3 meetings outside of that were very, very good. Today is going to be focused on candidate sourcing, and the rest of the week is going to be hard business development whilst we try and finalise an office space for us to work in. So let's check out Jet Set Business Centre.
I don't do the late night text, ask my ex. I'm just trying to double these checks. They're saying burners up next. I'm still with the guys, still trying to pebble these Zeds. If I rob one of your guys, I'll say it was I. True say I done it with chess. Bro saying stick to the stew, that's fire in the booth. And I ain't even breaking no sweat. Yo, look, I ain't even taking no less. Count this stack to the nearest pence.
Today I am off somewhere different. I'm going to the Radisson Blu for my first big networking event since arriving in Dubai. This morning I had to get my fingerprints done. We've had to go to the co-working space, and there's some good news. We've done everything we possibly need to do to be set up here. So we're waiting for our Emirates ID, our bank accounts can then be set up, and we can have a official UAE number. We've also fully committed to a space to work. So we've chose Unbox, the place that we went on Monday. Everywhere else just didn't quite hit the spot. So we've paid for a month to try it out. We've also committed to a gym, UFC gym as well. And it feels nice to have a little bit of stability. But what about today? Today, this event is called the Global Leadership Collective. It's for MDs, CEOs, entrepreneurs in the Middle East who are looking to do business here. I think from a recruitment perspective, but also from an investment perspective as well. And I think there's around 100 of us in a room together. There's 4 guest speakers. And considering I've been here, 7 days now? This is my 8th day. I think I could use all the advice I can possibly get on how to do business in Dubai. So I'm looking forward to it. Yesterday we had a little bit of bad news. The offer that I was banking on, the candidate got to the final stage and they decided not to offer simply because they had an internal referral at the very last minute who had relevant experience. I was gutted, the candidate was gutted, but we've still got one more potential this week and a few jobs to work. So I'm going to do my best to get some content of this event. Not sure who's going to be there, not sure what value I'm going to pick up, but I've no doubt that I'm in the right place. A few observations about Dubai whilst I'm here as well, and I'll start with the obvious ones. It's very hot. I came 8 weeks ago and it was a little bit hotter than this, around 45, 47 degrees every day. At the minute it's probably 30 to 35, but it's so humid. It's easier to get a taxi everywhere because it's air conditioned than walk even this 20-minute walk. Whilst it's very nice, not a first world problem, it is scorching. Second, from a recruitment perspective, there is a lot of people looking for work here, and it's very, very different to the UK. A lot of people here on visas, a lot of great talent from different countries, and it's not as easy to identify which people have the relevant experience as quickly as the UK. That's probably because I've worked in the UK market for longer, but over the next couple of weeks, we're gonna put my eyes to the test and see just how well I can find people over here for some local startups. And lastly, it's very, very expensive. I did feel this when I come on holiday recently. a lot of people have said. You see all this stuff online, but I use certain things to gauge how much it is in comparison. And a coffee here, you probably can't get a good coffee for less than £6. In the UK, that's £3.80 to £4. Any food from the supermarket, very, very expensive, but you do get a very good quality of life. So it seems, anyway, although the traffic is absolutely nuts, I am very happy that I'm not driving. So there's my very obvious updates on Dubai so far. I'm very good today, man. I'm very good. What about you? I'll only need you 15 minutes, man. I was trying to get you yesterday, but on the break you were busy with a couple of people. And the last break I was going to get you, had to shoot off for a meeting. Yeah, so I'm 9 days in. That was my first networking event. And I don't really know anyone here. So I was trying to branch out, see if I could meet anyone that I wanted to speak to yesterday. And I think you were one of the people. Yeah. How long have you been here? That's a lot to take in there. You seem a very busy man, Ben. Very busy man. Where has been the best place for you to go in terms of networking so far? What about that limitless AI? That was quite cool. I've seen it online. I've never seen it on somebody with it. How good is it? Wow, that's the future right there. That is the future. I'll ask you one more question, man, because I'll let you get off and prepare your notes. So just explain to me, you are investing other people's money into investments that you also invest in. Is that right? Oh, nice. Yeah, cool. So, well, if there's anything that you're at and over the next couple of months, which is not invite only, but you're going to be around, give me a shout, man, whether it's a dinner, whether it's a networking event, try to get out as much as I can. And I think, we have a lot of similarities in what we do. I'll keep it to 1 minute or less. So we have moved over here, me and my girlfriend. I've come over with the business. In the UK, I ran a technology recruitment business. We had 9 people. We strategically work with just startups, so early stage companies, usually after they've raised VC money. Not just in the UK, but Europe and the US as well. US is a big focus for us in a minute. Still focusing on early stage tech startups, but trying to grow a client base over here as well. I'm also an author, so wrote and published my own book. And then I'm a early stage investor. So I made 3 investments this year into tech startups as well. 2 of them are actually clients. So the investing is something that I'm looking to grow into more. Hence why I was like, I'll probably speak to you. So investing, author, and recruitment for now. But I'm trying to find some more things now that I've landed in Dubai. A typical client would be a startup who are anywhere between 2 and 20 employees, very early stage. Typically, they'll raise 1 to 10 million from VC money, either seed or Series A. Then they need to hire software engineers, data engineers, scientists, AI engineers. We come in and do everything. On my page, there's a couple of testimonials. The most recent one we did was with 16 hires in 9 months for an early stage company. Sometimes hardware as well, but mostly software. 100%, man. I'll give you a shout towards the end of the month. I really appreciate your time, Ben. So you might realise I didn't manage to get any content of that event yesterday, but it was good. I spent 6 hours there, drunk too much coffee, and there's a couple of good things that have come off the back of it. So we're walking back home. We've got to leave the office a little bit early today because I've got a meeting at 4 p.m, 5 p.m, 6 p.m, 7 p.m, and 8 p.m. Plus we've got to do lots of sourcing. So it was either go home now or sleep in the office. And I thought I'd choose to go home. So yesterday, I met many entrepreneurs, investors, managing directors who are out here in the UAE. And there was 2 people that I followed up with. One was called Ben, and he was kind enough to meet me this morning. That was the meeting that you've seen. He's an investor, entrepreneur, an inventor, actually, of some renewable technology. And was very nice, very willing to help me. And we're actually going to meet for a coffee towards the end of the month. But the more interesting story, there was a guy there, it's very hot, called Spencer Lodge. He told a great story about how he got Tony Robbins on his podcast. Long story short, he sent an email, rejected, flowers, rejected, and then some cupcakes with his face on them. And he got the meeting. So what did I do? Message Skylar. I said, Skylar, you need to find a cupcake delivery place in Dubai. Here's the picture. Put it on 6 of them. Here's the picture on screen, actually. And we sent him to his office. They arrived at 10:30 this morning. And then you'll also see the LinkedIn message on screen. Met one of his employees yesterday, and he messaged me saying something like, class, Spencer's seen him. His PA wants to reach out to you to book a meeting. So quite pleased with that. A little bit of attention to detail, something creative. And he's had pretty much everyone on his podcast. Gary Vee, Tony Robbins, you name it. Spencer Lodge, check it out. So that's going to be my other meeting as well. A quick recap, because I can see Skylar's getting hot behind the camera, and so am I. We did 1 deal this week, which I was very happy about, but I was certain there was actually going to be 2 more, and both of those didn't come in. A little bit disappointed. When you're banking on 3 deals to be a very, very big 5-figure month, and only 1 come in, it does hurt a little bit, especially when you move countries. But to look at the positives, we have secured our workspace in Unbox Community. we have secured our gym in the UFC gym, and we're just about to finalise our apartment, which is so close. Outside of that, next week is looking huge. So we're going to the GitX and Expand North Star event. We're going to be trying to book some meetings today of people who are coming to the event. It's a 5-day event, and we're going to be there for about 2 days, speaking to loads of startups in the AI and technology space. So I'm wrapping this one up, but you do not want to miss next week's episode. If you've watched up until now, thank you. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Run through 5, 1, know what I expected this week. I'm alive, 1, that's why I expected this week.